We're going. Is this acceptable?
Yeah, this is totally. I almost don't even feel like putting on headphones for some reason.
You probably shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Right. It's currently 2. No, what time is it? It's not even that late.
It's
gonna be. I can feel
12.
It's about to be 1 probably.
Hell yeah.
One-ish. That's not that. That's not bad. It could be worse. I'm all vegan, man. My energy's supposed to be top. So I guess it is. I've been up all day.
Are you tired or
What
No, I'm in chill mood, man. I've been driving around, doing my other job all day.
what video? What did you watch that made you go vegan?
Oh, what the health?
What the health?
What the health? I believe it has in my mind, I think it possibly have some subliminal message in it. 'Cause,
Yeah?
dude, I haven't eaten meat since. And it's
That's
not like
pretty
it said the
crazy.
information that I didn't know. It's just it gave too many reasons why you shouldn't
Yeah.
consecutively, and it got the irrefutable evidence
Yeah.
that meat causes cancer. Breast cancer is directly linked to dairy. Hormonal imbalances are directly linked to dairy. And then once you couple this disease and the antibiotics and our resistance that we're building up and dealing with them, and then once you count the fact that even if it was meat in its best form, your body isn't designed for it. It's still rotten flesh inside your body.
Your body's not designed to eat meat.
No,
How,
man.
dude? We've been doing it for fucking.
Listen. That doesn't make it right.
Well,
It doesn't make it right. I think it was a mechanism to get through some rough times, but the meat goes bad in our system, in and of itself. Pure carnivores, or even omnivores, have shorter small intestines in order for it to pass.
now
through.
that I'm thinking about it, I almost feel like, because like if you think about pretty much every other primate, they're usually herbivores completely.
Yeah,
like chimps will eat meat like
90% of their
very,
meat,
very
but
occasionally.
90% of their diet is vegetables.
Yeah. So we really are the first, like, I guess.
I
not even
believe
just
it's
apes,
something
but
that we
primates.
do. We've adapted. We can, but it makes us sick. Countries that generally don't eat meat, heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure are virtually non-existent. These are Western diseases that go along with our Western diets and all that fucking meat. It's directly linked to the meat. Directly. Dude, I'm telling you, watch the documentary. I can't run all the facts down
but
and shit.
smoking is directly linked to fucking cancer, and you're smoking.
I'm not talking about cigarettes, nigga. This is a completely different conversation. I didn't say cigarettes weren't evil. I'm just saying I was able to stop eating meat.
Yeah, that's.
And I'm
I
not
feel
trying
like
to
that'd be
convince.
easier. Yeah.
I'm not trying to.
Actually, maybe not. I don't know.
I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm just saying that. I mean, dude, I know.
Scott's doing the
Put
same
it like
thing.
this: it's as evil if meat should literally have a warning the way the cigarettes do.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Meat?
Absolutely.
Just in
Absolutely.
general?
Dude, the reason, listen to me. The reason, once you see this documentary, it blew my fucking mind. When you watch the conspiracy with the pharmaceutical companies that are in cahoots to keep us fucking sick so that they can keep getting paid.
Yeah.
The way that the American diabetes, they know there's been studies, over 800 studies. The motherfuckers running it down. The dude's talking to the head of I can't say all the fucking names. It's fucking 2:00 in the morning, whatever it is. But he's talking to big deal people, asking them direct questions about the correlation between diet and cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease, right? Mm-hmm. Each of them, everyone he was able to actually get a conversation with, got completely upset, indignant, and walked away from the table when we talked about the correlation between meat. And then when he looked deeper, every last one of them were taking money from larger companies that sell us shit. Every last one of them. Fucking breast cancer. 49% higher risk of breast cancer when dealing with dairy. Every fucking milk carton in the goddamn world got a fucking pink ribbon on that shit. It's a hustle. It's huge, dude. I'm telling you, like I said, I'm new information for me. I'm not standing here telling you I'm holy, man, and all of. Oh, and then when you get into the fucking environmental consequences that it costs to raise these cattle, and then the racial bullshit that goes along with them, these cows and fucking pigs got a shit. They went to North Carolina, and where the most of the pork for the world is grown, raised or what have you. no filtration for the shit. Pig shit 10 times as much as a fucking human being of equal or greater size. 10 times as much. That's everybody. They did the math. It's like everybody fucking taking a shit from the eastern seaboard in North Carolina at once. Wow. All the health risks that are coming behind that. They take the shit, they don't filter it, they spray it out over fields that are generally in black neighborhoods.
They spray
poop, nigga, cow shit. I mean, not cow shit, fucking pig shit out into the air in communities of color. And poor, of course, poor white people and shit like that live in these places where the fucking turkey farm is, where the goddamn hog farm is.
Why do they do that?
Because they have to get rid of the waste. They have to get rid of the waste. And if you're poor and you live in that neighborhood, you don't have a voice. And now you got cancer, you got fucking asthma, you got all these fucking problems that because you had lived next to somewhere where a fucking big name Tyson's Chicken Farm or whatever can spray that fucking shit in the air with no environmental consequences. Dude, do you know that they have, you can be charged as a terrorist if you sneak in one of them fucking places and take pictures of how the fuck they do our food?
Really?
Yes. Because they have huge lobbyists that can lobby in fucking in Washington in order to keep and protect to make them safe. The USFDA allow a certain amount of pus in your milk. Dude, they can't even legally call fucking eggs safe.
Really?
Not healthy. There's a bunch of other words. Safe is one of them. Safe.
I feel like eggs are pretty good.
Bro. I know, these are eggs. These are eggs we talking about. No, nigga. It's poison. It's poison. I mean, of course you'll live, but dude, look at the quality of life of my grandmother. She ate that way her whole life. She couldn't walk. She couldn't move towards the end. Diabetes, wheelchair, whole thing. Oh, you don't have to be that way. If you look at countries where people are quote unquote poor, undeveloped, this, that, and the third, they in their fucking 80s and 90s walking the fuck around. Of course they don't have vaccinations, blah, blah, blah. They could die, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about their bodies are still intact.
If you think about it, I will even hand you this, dude. If you think about it, like Japan, I think, has the highest life expectancy in the world, and their diet is pretty much all like
it's switching, it's changing. They even get into that. They go into those older studies that make those points and watch as KFC is invaded, as McDonald's has invaded, has the diet. Dude, they had a fucking study during World War II when Hitler ran into Norway, I believe it was, and the first thing they did was took all the fucking meat and the cattle and shit because he had to feed his troops. All you niggas give up your cat. Their fucking their cancer rates plummeted. Hitler left, rised again immediately because they had to switch immediately to plant-based diets. Think about it like this. If we are an animal, which we are, an animal in the process of evolution.
Sure, just like every other animal.
We all are, right. Wherever we are, what are we equipped to eat? With your naked body.
Now that I'm really thinking about it, I could see how eating meat was just evolved recently as a matter of necessity. And by recently, I mean like on a evolution
few thousand years or whatever,
like that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Of course, I understand where you're coming from. It's
but at the same time,
and it enabled us to build cities, to live through cold winters, to pack on nutrients at times where things were lean, but we don't live there now.
Yeah, but that's part of our
and we're able to eat daily. You understand what I'm saying? When first of all, this is what I've noticed, and this is true. And this is even true for grazing animals. You have to spend a lot of time feeding yourself. It requires, you know what I'm saying, to eat, and today it's because you live in a jungle full of things that I probably shouldn't eat. So if I'm vegan, most things are inedible outside because they've been processed and a lot of this, that, and the third. So my acceptance of eating meat, let's say if I lived in an actual wilderness, my ability to eat meat and use those calories so that I could focus on other things, I believe enabled our civilization to move forward as it has. Mm-hmm. But
sure, so it was part of our evolution.
Absolutely. But we haven't evolved enough. And you have to also consider, okay, I've eaten meat. How often could you kill an animal? How often, if times are so lean, how often could you do that? So we feast every day.
Yeah.
Like we caught a fucking buffalo. Nigga, you ain't catch no buffalo. you know what I'm saying? Like that's a rarity. That's like, it was a big deal. The men went out, they hunted. It might have took 2 weeks and we pulled it off.
Uh-huh.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in that time, perhaps that putrid meat could make it through your body and you could and your body could recover from whatever damage that had been done to it from ingesting that. In the meantime, you'd forage for nuts and berries and fruits and make it. And then, we got another buffalo. Goddamn, what we get to eat. And now you get to have a buffalo every night. It's going to kill you.
I see what you mean. Dude. I completely.
And me, I can't do stuff halfway, so I just want to went vegan. I can't kind of eat it. Because I'll just do regular.
Maybe to be completely true to evolution, maybe every once in a while you should eat some meat. Like you called that buffalo.
That would be true. Yeah, but by personality.
Oh, true.
I have to take it into consideration.
Yeah, dude, it just sucks. Just the amount of it's almost like the amount of effort you have to put in. I guess I don't know if it's a lot of effort.
It's not that tough.
I'm good.
It's just looking at food differently for me. I'm just looking at it differently. My snacks are different. I snack on fruits. And normally when I would eat something quote unquote fancy or something really delicious, it'd be in the street. And at home, occasionally I cook, but for the most part, I think of something healthier. Now, I'm not going to say healthy, but I eat whole, straight up fruits and vegetables in the street. I may just wash off a cucumber, bite it in the street. Real talk. We're moving around. Okay, that came out bad. Another fruit.
Came out funny.
But no, real. But I'll go home and I'll begin to. Now I'm like I said, this is also very new. I'll do a dish. I'll think, I haven't got a chance yet, but I can't wait to start doing these veggie burgers. You can make them out of 1,000 different things.
Yeah, mushroom burgers and stuff.
Yeah, fuck yeah. And I'll make a real, and that's the real, now I really get to throw down. But in the street, I'm just eating, I'm foraging. I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Bananas at 7-Eleven.
Yes, motherfucker. And nigga, and people like, yo, you're vegan. You always talking about it, nigga, because you'll fucking die. You got to keep food on your mind, nigga. It's going to take all day. It's going to take everywhere. Everybody's eating. You're like, fuck, I'm hungry. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. And you want to keep refined things. You want to it's like being close to the nature. It's not a terrible thing. And I'm still eating, man. It took a couple days. I was there. I was on the edge for a minute, for a couple days, and then I started cooking. I'm like, okay, and I'm gonna try some shit. And I don't try stuff, and I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
This has been 2 weeks.
About that. I like.
I mean, that's dope. It is dope.
I could put anything in spaghetti sauce. That's why I'm putting a lot of shit in spaghetti sauce. I can still have bread as long as it's vegan and
I think So I think the not eating meat part would be way easier, obviously, than the not eating dairy. Only because dairy is almost
cheese it's delicious.
So,
but it's worse. It's worse.
Yeah. Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so I don't eat dairy.
Dude, I got a new joke that fucking lactose intolerance is white supremacy. Ended up fucking. I think it's 80% of blacks and like fucking like 90 crazy% of Asians and shit. And like when you do the math, only people that can drink milk is fucking white people, nigga. And then it's even higher. White people's like 30 or 40%. We're not supposed to ever drink milk. And then once you consider the antibiotics and the fact that it's a hormonal fluid, it's for a baby cow. It's just so many terrible things.
I've never liked milk, dude. I think milk is fucking disgusting, dude. I'll eat an egg all day, but
eggs, milk, dairy, I love that shit.
I'm just talking about okay, cheese, I can see avoiding that, but chocolate's something that comes to mind. Pretty much any dessert.
Cocoa is from a plant.
Cocoa?
Yeah, and you can have
but they
sugar.
mix it with cream. But then you're not eating chocolate.
You have options. You have options. Something like it was funny. I was just having this conversation on the way over here. I'm like, I'm thinking of some hot cocoa. How can I make it from base? And I'm thinking, cocoa, as long as it's just ground from the plant. Maybe some almond milk.
Yeah.
Almond milk,
which isn't
yeah.
necessarily yummy, but in a coffee situation, it might could,
Yeah, you could get by. If
Yeah,
served
yeah,
hot.
yeah, yeah.
If it's served hot, I
If
can see it
served hot,
being
I'm trying
decent.
trying to think of something else that would give you a milky kind of a texture, because that's all you're looking for. That cut with sweet, cut with a little bit of fucking. I'm thinking maybe even a wee bit of coffee and something to lighten it up with.
Maybe some
What I
honey
meant-
or something.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
mean that it would be hard on like a
said a wee
enjoyment
bit.
level. I just meant like a hard to find level. Like if you go out to a restaurant, you can very easily order a dish that's vegetarian. That's easy.
Right.
But then like if you want pretty much any dessert, you're fucked. Like they might not just have a fucking vegan chocolate cake on hand. You know,
No.
I'm just saying like
No.
dairy I feel like
it
would
is getting
suck to
kind of
not have.
popular to have vegan.
Yeah, it
entrees
is.
It is. I think people are
desserts and
becoming
stuff.
aware. I'm telling most of the things that we die from in our old age, we could fucking eradicate, or at least put in the back burner. Diabetes. You do not have. You know how diabetes works?
No.
People argue that people think that it's sugar. It's got to do with your sugar, and sugar is the secondary part of it. But the main part is the meat. What happens is once that fucking grease, that saturated fat, clogs up your arteries, the sugar, which your body understands how to use, cannot escape. So your pancreas creates more insulin to try to, hey, we need to alleviate the sugar, but it can't get the fuck out because your arteries are coated with fucking animal product. It's a simple, and they argue, oh, sugar, you got to control your sugar intake. Listen, they don't want to cure us, and they don't want to kill us either. They want to keep you right there in the fucking middle. I'm telling you, watch the documentary. It makes a better, argument than me. I'm not trying to necessarily convince them. We're having a conversation, but I it just made it too clear, and it was too many reasons not to, and the benefits were too high. Dude, I've been losing weight like shit. I'm barely. I'm working out a little bit, but nothing serious. Peeling the fuck off. I didn't know I felt bad. I feel fucking bouncy and energetic. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be sleepy right now. And I got the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like the general, it's dope, yo. It's dope, and I'm looking forward to see what more it has to offer. It's exciting. I'm kind of passionate about it right now.
Damn, dude. Right before you got here, me and Jimmy
Yeah,
just
I was
like
about to say.
I had
ate
mad meat.
McDonald's and shit. And like,
That
I'm
stuff was
almost glad I
delicious.
didn't finish it, dude.
That stuff was
Yeah.
delicious, and I'm trying to replicate some of those things without it being corny. Like, when I get into my vegan burgers, what I'm thinking is, let's get the veggies down. A lot of what you're looking for in meat is salt. And I'm going to eventually phase that out. But right now, I'm heavy on the salt. I won't lie. I'm heavy on the salt. I'm heavy on the oil. Not crazy, but, with my olive oils and my canola oils, I got to have something. So I'm cooking here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not frying stuff, but
It's better than butter too, you know.
oh, far.
Yeah.
Butter's not. I can't do that. That's that's
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm saying.
But so yeah, though, and what I'm thinking of my next when I start my vegan, I want to do a mushroom food processor mushroom, right? Not too smooth, but till medium chunky.
Like
cauliflower, quinoa, and goddamn, sea salt and pepper and spicy, a little bit of spicy to it, and fry it, sear it, get a nice sear on that
Oh.
shit.
Yeah.
And then the dressings of a burger, vegan mayonnaise, ketchup, fucking, the pickle, the whole shit. I think it'll be good. I think it'll come off really like not meat.
Yeah,
It's not
as
meat.
long as you get like the nice like crunch with the sear and like it's
Probably a ton
salty.
of,
and it's salty and a little bit of the grease, that oil that I'll fry it in and stuff. I think it'll come off really
There's probably
good.
like a ton
Yeah.
of tutorial videos you can watch on that too.
Yeah, I've been
online.
watching a few and getting into it, man. I can kind of cook, man. I just want to apply my skills to, the vegan room. It's kind of exciting.
That's dope, dude. You're
I'm the weirdest person, right?
no.
Nah,
It's
I don't know, yo. It's some shit. I'm telling you, I watched it. It clicked in my head, and I'm one of those people. Oh, I started. I don't quit cigarettes every other fucking day, but I don't even want it. I just know too much.
That's
Nice.
good. I mean, dude, I can definitely.
We just been eating wrong. It's a house. Milk is not even good for your fucking bones. We have the
dude, you're
highest risk of
fucking-
osteoporosis, and we're a milk nation. It's not even good for your bones.
Yeah, dude. I
Protein
had like
is in plants. Every protein you get from an animal is recycled protein. You don't even
That's
need as
true.
much of it as that you think. It's fucking crazy.
That's the best
It's all
fucking
a hustle.
That's the best fucking argument I've heard so far, dude. All
Only
proteins,
plants have the capacity to change the nitrogen. Would they do something like taking the nitrogen out of the air and
the only
breaking it down within the plant?
animals only
and
exist by
with amino acids. All you're doing is eating secondhand protein, along with all the other bullshit. You're not supposed to eat it, at least not on a regular basis. And like I said, I just leave it alone because we don't have to. We really don't. And once you get the cooking, dude, you can make delicious meals. When you get that salt in there, sugar if needed. Of course, try to use refined sugar. Of course, I try to use the more exotic salts because you get more bang for the buck with how much salt you put in. If you get a Himalayan salt or margarita salt, that type of shit, those more heavy grain salts. And just spice it up. You'll be surprised. Nice little sauces and shit you can make, all vegetables. But, I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting. It really is. It's a new way of looking at eating. And I'm still eating.
So you don't eat fish though?
No.
See, I feel like fish always gets the pass though.
Yeah, but it's poison in the water, man. The fish eat each other. They fucking shouldn't. They raised on fucking farms and fed on antibiotics and all kinds of crazy shit. Nigga, I'm not fucking with it. I'm just not. I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. I was thinking if you just caught a fish out in the wild.
Soaking up everything that's going on in the ocean, and everything is going on in the ocean. How many fucking oil spills and slicks, and it's terrible. Yeah. Would you drink ocean water?
Even on the fish farms,
I couldn't even if it was clean.
Yeah, no, because of the salt content. But I'm just saying, would you? No. Would that be an option for you? No. That's what a fish is.
Well, if you even go underwater and accidentally swallow ocean water, you immediately vomit it up. Your body can't handle.
God is yo, I hope you don't eat some fish, dog.
No, I mean, if they come from a sick ocean and it's mostly I want to know where my food came from. As close as I can get to what is this? You got to question
do you get, organic stuff, or do you just
as
get
much as possible?
Okay.
And people say it's a little expensive, but if you subtract the meat, it really isn't. It's expensive for tomatoes, but it's not. Dude, my lunch is like $2 and $3. I buy a fucking a $1.99 special ass pear. I'm like, oh, that's slick. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of goddamn grapes and a bottle of water. I'm fucking good. You know what I'm saying? Well, you'll spend $10.99 at McDonald's or $3.5 over here, blah, blah, blah. And it feels quick and inexpensive, but it's not really. And a couple dollars you spent over there, I'll spend a little bit more at Whole Foods later and buy a vegan piece of cheese. You know what I'm saying? Where a regular block of cheese would have been $3.99, a vegan block of cheese is like $4.99 or $8.99 even. It's still worth it for what you're getting out of the deal. And once again, you subtract that meat, which is the most expensive part when you go fucking shopping. It evens out. You understand what I'm saying?
Dude, maybe Scott was
Do you
right.
understand what I'm saying?
I know.
Yeah, I totally do. And I think also just the shittiness that you feel after eating fast food. It's just seeping in, and you're telling me all of these oh, I feel so great and peppy and bouncy.
You don't even know you're sick. You don't even feel it. I'm telling you. When you stop, you just the first few days I was just so hungry. I did beans and rice because it was very basic. That's enough. That's my TV dinner. Oh shit, can of beans and rice. Microwave. Probably shouldn't do that, but whatever. I'm not trying to be special. I got a fucking cigarette in my hand. I'm just saying, I don't like the fact that I've been tricked. They tricked us. Since children, they feed us. They need to.
Yeah, at least smoking. It's like
it's a conscious decision.
It's an agreement.
I was being a badass when I started it. Now I got this. I'm thinking about taking a mushroom trip to get this shit out of my subconscious. But honestly, I really am because I want.
Yeah.
Being vegan has made me more conscious of it, more so than usual. I think if I do get the strength for cigarettes, it'll be partially due to me being vegan, dude.
I would say that, yeah.
Just it gives you another feeling. You just feel more. I can't explain it. My relationship normally when I eat, and I like to eat. Like I said, I'm an extremist. I normally eat till I feel like I'm about to fucking puke or some shit. Almost impossible with vegetables. They just turn off, and it seems stupid. You're like, why am I eating all these dumb? You know what I'm saying? It's all you see. I'm all pumped, and then you get full, and you're like, okay, this is fucking some cucumbers and squash. You know what I mean? It ain't even I'm saying it just turns right off.
I can see the fruit thing.
It's like you build so much into it, and I'm gonna get it right, and then you get a nice full belly, and no meat. It's always you can't. It's almost animalistic when you get in there. That was so good. You know what I'm saying? And you get the bounce up after you eat. You never get the fucking itis. Nope.
Dude, I know you weren't trying to sell me, but like,
I'm selling.
Yeah,
I definitely feel like you sold that shit.
Dude,
for sure.
check
I
out
need to
the
open the door.
documentary. It's worth it. It's on Netflix. Wow, my shoes.
No, dude, I need some air.
That's not vegan.
I'm freaking out from eating all
I'm
this
wearing
meat.
those socks. But yeah, what the health? I'm telling you, check it out. What the health? I won't be surprised if this shit is bad. They make it too clear.
Just crack it a little bit over the coal mad fast. There you go.
Yeah, they make it too clear. The correlation and the benefits are just on the other side are just too sweet. They were showing people. Dude, it was a doctor, Dr. Sadibi. You ever heard of him?
He's
the doctor the TLC, the left eye from TLC went to see right before she died. He cured cancer and many other diseases. Look at it. You could pull it up right now. He was sued by the United States government for making these claims in the newspaper. They're like, you can't fucking say you curing shit and blah, 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 blah. They asked him to show examples. He was asked to provide 10 examples. This motherfucker showed up 70, and beat the case, a lawsuit with diet alone. It's talked about an alkaline diet, which is essentially what we're talking about, a whole foods, plant-based diet. Took people there. He talked about an issue he had. He said he was 30 years old. He said his body wasn't functioning. He had diabetes. He was going blind. He said his dick didn't work. His blood pressure was out of this world. He went to a fucking a nature healer person, whatever, that asked him to fast for 90 days. And after that, plant-based alkaline diet. It's a whole science. And the motherfucker legitimately did it. I'm telling you, watch What the Health.
Are you gonna get into that fasting shit or?
I don't know if I got that type of discipline. I'd like to, man. I think we have amazing potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Human beings. You know what I'm saying? I kind of want to tap into it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what I can do.
I was thinking about that recently. I was looking into that like master cleanse thing. Have you seen that shit?
It sounds like a shit out.
It's like
something to make you.
I heard someone talk about it on like a podcast, and yeah, I'm sure you shit like a ton going into it. But they just say that's like the toxins coming out.
What do you?
Whatever
give you?
bullshit.
Some kind of
No, it's
laxative.
No, you eat or you drink. You can only drink lemon water with cayenne pepper in it and a little bit of maple syrup, and that's it. And you can also drink water
along with that fasting.
Yeah, just fasting, not eating anything, but you drink that. You have to drink at least like 10 cups of that a day.
There's a science that says the amount of calories you take in and dictates how you age.
I could believe that.
There's a science. It hasn't been a lot of studies on it, but I read something about that in the science, and there's a possibility, like genetically, it's like a timer. This amount of meals you die.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that would make us legitimately like fucking computer programs. But I've never heard that claim before. But that could be it, dude. But that
could be
it. Could be
X
it.
amount of calories.
Stop eating, dude.
Like maybe not like a definite like 3
but
billion and one, dude. You're
roughly
done.
50,000 servings, nigga. That's your ass.
Jesus Christ, dude. That actually would make sense.
And if you stuff them and double them up with shit like that, your shit gets.
Because that could also be a way of like kind of like genetic programming to like for nature to like naturally kill off a species before it. Like
right.
overeats,
it's gotta,
or something
Plus,
like that. Like
not only overeats,
overconsumes.
it also has to evolve and change. So they have to die and new has to come in. It's just how it works. Nothing goes on forever except for lobsters. They get to live.
So how much do they eat, dude?
What, lobsters? I don't know. You know that, right? Lobsters.
They live for a long. Same with like sea turtles.
At the same time.
No. Lobsters is supposed to be technically immortal. Of course, you can kill them, and stuff, but they supposed to never stop growing and they've been known to live, the longest, hundreds, just old.
If that were the case, and now that I'm thinking about it, dude, if that were because like we right now consume so many more calories a day than someone 100 years ago or 200 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But our life expectancy has like doubled. Not doubled, but like it's like
But
from
it's about-
1817.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
So like
and that's mostly because of vaccinations and things like that.
Yeah, that's too.
Civilizations and
That too.
people not dying from infections and shit like that and all that. But we're our great civilization we've built, we're destroying it. But let's talk about things like infection. The more we consume meat, where that's contributing, that and the over prescribing of antibiotics is contributing to an antibiotic resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about superbugs and fucking zombie land and crazy shit like that, nigga.
that makes
Real
sense
talk.
too, because these
Yeah.
these bacteria or whatever they are, they literally are put in an artificial what the thing, like an artificial thing that they have to adapt to. Like bacteria would never encounter an immune system so powerful that they could literally, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like causing,
Yes.
it's causing
The more they're exposed, the same way your antibodies switch, so too do the viruses.
and we're like pushing it along.
The same way
Yeah.
you build up an immunity, like you can't catch this again. So too the virus say, okay, I can't be killed.
Yeah,
by
I mean,
that
if we're
anymore.
evolving these things to progress past antibiotics, which of course they would, because the only other
then you get sick and
option
you
they
die.
have is to go extinct.
Yeah, then you get
as
sick
their
and you die.
species.
Yes, so they have to survive too. So
They're fucking learning how to fucking surpass that shit, and then when you
and
get to a certain
farms
point,
are breeding grounds for those.
they can easily
Just because of how the animals are housed, the feces, the dead animals, and then us eating them, they're breeding grounds for microbial fucking. Like, it's just too many reasons to just know where your food comes from. It's a way to plug you into the matrix, control you, and ultimately kill you and feed you to your fucking children. I'm telling you, yo, that shit is fucking real.
it is real. Holy shit. The
real.
only I don't.
One time I had a conversation about this. I was talking I was talking to the back porch of somebody's house and shit, and a helicopter just rolled up. And was like, hey, nigga. And this rolled the fuck out. I don't know if it did that, but it pulled up, and it was like, I was right by Bayview, and I thought it was going to land over there, and it didn't. It just went the other way. I was like, let me find I'm talking too much or something. So, it's a hustle. It's a
Do you
whole...
think? I feel like the only thing I would say is I feel like it's just. I don't know if there's somebody at the top like orchestrating it.
No. I
Or
think
anyone
there's a
orchestrating it.
collective god of greed that we worship here.
That's what. Yeah, exactly. And so like we
And
just
everyone
allow
agrees.
things to happen.
I mean, I like to say the white man, but it's it's certainly black people involved as well. But it's traditionally the white supremacist power structure that worships money, and that's first. That's first. Money first. Fuck everything else.
in the West,
and
yeah, sure. but then you
and
have
racial
the
stuff
same-
in order to feed the money. It's, we'll sacrifice anybody, but of course, blacks first, and then and all the way up there. We'll sacrifice whomever, our very own, our children, our wives. But money, it's that. So is there an Illuminati? Perhaps, probably. I don't see why not. But I think the entire industry is just a collective thought of survival and keeping that white supremacist structure intact. It all ties in together as one in order. Capitalism, the way America's built. It's built, and every time there's a trap to keep people and make money, a money trap, this motherfucker Donald Trump is still trying to, it's fucking 4 hurricanes. The strongest ever.
Yeah.
Houston this motherfucker no, nothing's happening. Climate change, this is bullshit. Nigga, are you watching what's the fuck is happening? Let's get that coal. Clean coal. Nigga, you can't wash off coal. That's what you think clean coal means? Like you can rinse it off and shit. We love coal.
I would agree that there's
There's
definitely-
diamonds under there. You still
I
gotta
would
break
agree
them
that
out.
there's definitely a small circle of people at the very top of society
Oh, they probably
that
benefit the most. And
well, that they have all the money and they have enough money to where they're pretty much the controllers. I don't necessarily know if they think of themselves that way. I just think they're people with a lot of money who are just all acting in their own self-interest. I don't know if there's like a cabal of white supremacy.
They
at
worship the
top.
same.
I don't know if it's
White
I don't know if it's a
supremacy
racial
is.
thing.
I use that because that's just how America was built from day one. They walked off the boat.
I would say pretty much any country was built off of some race's feeling of supremacy.
Well, countries that are built by white people, sure, yeah.
What about like?
Everybody else was there already.
What about like
You understand what I'm saying?
the Asian countries like Mongolia and China and stuff like that?
Yeah, but that's where they're from.
But they're different. I'm saying, like, if you think about, like,
Okay, let's say for instance, Asian countries. Let's say Genghis Khan, Attila
that's what I'm
people
talking
like
about. That
that.
conquering, that
And they moved
imperialistic
on.
mentality.
This is the thing. They also brought things with them. When white people come, they make things better for white people. Always. Gunpowder.
Doesn't any
Gunpowder was brought to Europe. You understand what I'm saying?
Doesn't any group of people, when they are imperializing, make the circumstances better for themselves? Do you
Not
think that's
necessarily. The Moors ruled parts of Europe for years and brought mathematics, brought spices, enriched their society as opposed to raping it.
as a side effect? That wasn't their intent. Their intent was to make shit good for them.
But it enriched their society in a way where it still exists. The Indians don't exist. They don't
Native Americans,
exist.
yeah.
They don't exist. Fucking Africa is falling to pieces. And anything, okay, dictators and blah, 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 that's all a byproduct of the imperialism. And I'm not saying white people are inherently evil in some way. I personally believe, this is just based on nothing, my own observations. I personally believe just the original, because of the lands that Europe and the harshness of the lands, I think that's just how white people roll. I think if you come from somewhere that's a richer land, trickery isn't as important.
What do you mean a richer land?
Meaning, if you're from old Africa or somewhere fertile, where the land isn't as cold, we don't have tough winters, we don't have to struggle.
You're saying that
I think that's somewhat of a byproduct of being from a harsher land.
where you have to kind of scheme a
kill.
little bit.
You scheme. You use trickery. And I think
could-
it won.
I could see that.
I think that
Yeah.
shit won.
I could see that,
As
dude.
it branched down, because
People talk about
human
like,
beings
Jews and
derived
stuff.
from Africa and stretched around. But if you're here, isolated, beyond mountains, high up in Europe, and it's very few things going on. Even today, the land is, what do you say? Irish potato farmers and England, but all this other bullshit. It's not a rich land as in the Mesopotamia, as in parts of Africa, as in parts of India, many other places. What do you do? How do you think? How do you evolve? And that thinking won.
Basically, you have
just that
people. You
simple.
have people. Well, you have people coming from an environment where they don't have an abundance of resources.
No.
So you go into India or the Fertile Crescent, and they have all these abundance of resources. There's not necessarily a reason to expand. Which I would also say.
No.
Then why did it so much? And why?
Men want power. Men. I'm not saying other nations and African nations and Indian nations they aren't conquerors and tyrants and people that want power, but the particular type of trickery that's used by Europeans is different than any other.
What do you mean trickery?
For instance, slavery exists in so many different forms, shit, even today.
Yeah.
But the systematic mental slavery and the trickery that goes into wiping out a people's history is uniquely white.
That is something that's
the
British Empire, yeah.
The Arabs seem to have taken it on quite well today.
Yeah.
But it's a distinctly Africans conquered other tribes and took them in, but they still were who they were. They raped and pillaged the whole shit like pirates, the whole shit. But those people still were who they were. They were still. It wasn't an effort to wipe them away.
I think the minority groups were viewed as subhuman in a way, and I will say that I think that white people perfected the art of like industrializing subhuman people. We basically made like an assembly line of these things that we no longer
People who don't think-
But I'm saying that I wouldn't think that white people looked at the minorities or anything like that, or whatever the oppressed groups in their society,
minorities wouldn't be an
as
appropriate
any
word, but
more
yeah,
subhuman than when that one African tribe took over another one. I just think that there wasn't the.
I think their tactics are different. I don't think they wanted anything different. Like you said, I don't believe that the Moors were thinking of, let's help these white people and better. Then they were conquering and stretching their empire.
What about the Egyptians with the Jews? I know that's like I mean, that is.
Yeah. But one could argue at that time, because now Jews are all are a race as well as a religion.
Sure.
But at that time, how different were they? Was it anything more than a religion?
Yeah, because I don't know the Jew. I mean,
They've separated themselves to become a race, quote unquote.
Egyptians, are they?
You understand?
I almost
We're
don't-
still talking about swarthy,
Yeah.
Northern African. I believe Egypt was a city, a metropolitan city. So blacks, of course, is Africa.
At the very least,
What-
you could say that they were they might have not been distinguished like racially, like physical.
yeah, that's
and
what I'm
things
saying.
Like that. But they
probably
were,
looked,
They were.
like everyone else.
I guess you could say they were
across
oppressed
the
because
rainbow.
of their belief system.
Yes.
But either
Yes,
way,
yes,
it's
yes.
like, is there
And
a difference?
I'm sure their isolationist was made them the race of Jews that they are. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They do even today. It's an effort. It's good, and many races do, but Jews in particular, they stick together. It's the chosen people. That's
That is
it.
true. I do wonder about that, dude.
They've separated
seem to
themselves,
be,
perhaps because of persecution for the longest.
So
Perhaps
they
because of
they
that
had the most
persecution from that
necessity
longest.
to evolve that like scheming. I don't want to call Jews scheming or whatever. They had the most
Look,
necessity out of
man,
anyone.
we
to
having a
fucking-
real tough conversation. Black people in the opposite. We're the original people.
Yo.
We're spiritual folk.
You always see those
We're, even if we fight a war, we're coming from. It's from here. We're soulful.
Yeah,
That
do you
is true.
still
But
eat,
you can't fight that against a people who don't give a fuck about that. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
There's no connection. Yeah, dude.
We need to eat. I don't give a fuck about your whole tribal dance before the fight. I don't wanna. You can't. You know what I'm saying? But those things are not to be ignored. We're
Yeah, I
different
will say
because
the
we're
farther north
original-
you get, the less soulful they be. Like Germans, Norwegians, Scandinavians, dude. They are
the
not.
truth. It's the
They
truth.
just have no
They
sense
need
of
to
humor. I'm
survive.
not saying everybody, but it's just like
Yeah,
like
of course we're speaking stereotypes and around.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not fucking. We're nobody. If anybody's listening, we're going over theories.
they
or
have
whatever.
no like Russians, dude. I feel like they're not. I don't know if they're funny, dude. I think
Right.
like
Do they like music?
people don't really even get funny until like exactly. What they like a fucking accordion and shit like that's
Right,
the
or
stupidest
whatever.
instrument, dude.
Yeah, and us being of original people that other people sprung from. We even today. You said that's how we are. We're and it's not to be forgotten. Spirit is important, and to people that are unspiritual, it's almost laughable. look at those excited black. Black people can't stand there and laugh. We're spirited. It's just how we are. I can't. Everybody know dog. I can't control it. It's a thing. People, rhythm, soul, or whatever. It's just a connection with the root. It's everyone that human beings have developed into their different ways. Asians have their fucking way that they think and do all that fucking shit. You know what I'm saying? The whites move the way that they do, and more natural. And look at even people who live closer to nature, like the Native Americans, the ones that are of course they're dealing with everything but even in their more natural state, you can't forget your spirit. You can't forget our we are an animal. We're a creature. We're a fucking being. You can't. All this comes back to you can't feed it bullshit just because to keep. It's really to keep rich white people rich or rich whoever.
Like if
we
you think
could
about
use
like
Chinese people, whoever.
the Romans
whoever
did
gets
it.
money.
The Greeks.
Arabians. I don't know.
Yeah, them too. Black sometimes. Shit, they got a couple.
I can only speak to like Western history, but like if you're looking back, because I do think the Egyptians and the Jews is a good example of a non-white race who did a similar thing. I don't know if it was necessarily comparable, but it was similar in my opinion. But like if you think about like that concept of when you take someone over to almost
It's one thing to rule them. It's something else to eliminate them.
well, but what was was weird. Okay, so the Greeks didn't do a great job. With the Romans, they would take people over, but they would still, in a way, allow them to like.
Yeah,
It was like,
the Romans were pretty cool with that, and so were the Greeks. You know, they were conquering empires that did that,
but they were still a totally imperial empire.
Yeah, totally.
sure.
And, but what we see today, that is nothing like that. It's past. That those days have passed because they all learned from the Egyptians, who in turn learned from the Ethiopians in Timbuktu, the oldest university ever. That line carried up to about Greece.
Yeah.
That's when people shared it. Conquering happened, but it wasn't destroyed. It was like, oh, these people have
still
knowledge
soulful,
too.
dude.
Yeah, we're gonna fuck your bitches,
Greeks and Italians?
kill your men, but we're gonna read your books too. You know, and maybe your kids will grow up Romans. You know,
Yeah, I don't really hear much about. I don't know. I'm not a fucking historian, so I can't say. But I don't know if there was much like destruction of everything around them by the Greeks and the Romans. But then again, I don't know. There could have been just as much.
Yeah, perhaps, but honestly, and to my immediate knowledge, I don't feel like Googling nothing right now. Probably about the last time white people were fair. I don't mean it like that. You know what I mean? But like one of the last times that European and other nations came together and left intact.
I agree with you that
You know what I'm
there are
saying?
definitely genetic traits inherent to certain. I would say because that's kind of what you're saying right now. In a way, you're saying
and
like there's
of course
certain,
not every single person. Of course, you got the white boys with the soul and the and and all the other, those are two. You've got who knows, maybe you got some Chinese guys in the Indian food. I don't fucking know or whatever.
maybe.
Right. But considering the fact that we're almost polar opposites on the spectrum of the variations of the human species, which we are. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of are.
You know what I'm saying? With Chihuahuas and fucking Great Danes or whatever. Still dogs. Clearly, nothing. They can fuck in theory. You know what I'm saying? But genetically, certain things are different. So every now and then there's a small Great Dane. You know what I mean? I've seen a tall Chihuahua before.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you
Kind of
almost.
tall for a Chihuahua anyway.
Yeah, dude.
I just think we move some ways partially genetic, some ways I think are taught.
Cultural.
The cultural, just like, you want to live, you got to move like this. I mean, when we've had conversations about slavery and how it impacts African Americans. I hate using that goddamn word. Black people today. Systematic racism taught to us that we taught our kids, that we taught our kids, that we taught our kids, that we taught our kids that we still eat like fucking slaves. Africans in particular are mostly plant-based people. Particularly some of the fucking Western African nations that we were fucking stolen from, very plant-based people.
I don't know. Okay, the only thing
There are exceptions to the rule, but we've since that, if you've been given slavery food, told as soul food, does make you feel good. We're soulful people, nigga. What are we supposed to do? And that's just an example of your food, not an example of how you think, how you hate yourself, how you see images of yourself, because your subconscious works on pictures. And you watch TV all the fucking time, your entire life, and you grew up here, and they told you milk was good, and this, that, and the third, and black is bad. And the only thing you see of fucking black people is goddamn on the goddamn news, robbing and shooting, or this, that, and the third. What kind of person is that going to develop? And then you look at that person, and you say, oh, what's wrong with him? Why is he not? Why can't they assimilate? Why? Motherfucker, how we move? How is everybody? The crazy shit, Dave, and I don't want to take this as a joke from Dave Chappelle, but it's such a fucking sharp point. How the fuck are trans people beating black people at fucking civil rights? And that's not a shot at anyone trans or non-binary, anything like that. I take a person individually and, in my love for them or how I feel about them as case by case basis. But you also have to consider, civil rights was started for us and we still getting shot.
Yeah.
We passing laws for them, not saying fuck them, but motherfucker, we still getting shot. We not we can't even say matter. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm supposed to give a fuck. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time because we won't even address the fucking very basic issues. Very basic life. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group to say don't shoot me. That's what it should be. Don't shoot me. That should be the name of. Please don't shoot me. Is that a terrorist group? Please don't shoot me. You know what I'm saying? If the same thing was happening to trans, if the same thing was happening, imagine if police shot Jews.
Yeah,
imagine
dude.
that shit.
Yeah.
That's
If
true.
the police was just like, this Jew, you don't trust them. And believe the word, nigga, the word ghetto is a Jewish word because when the Jews came here, they were broke just like us. And the only thing about it, the Jews are white. They still look white. So they kids, the next generation, all they got to do is tuck in your chain. You feel me? And they can infiltrate. The word ghetto is a Jewish word. They lived in poverty. It was full of crime. And this, that, and the third. Because that's what happened. What poor people do. They fucking shoot each other for space. Nigga, for just because, it's a survival tactic that's also been taught to us by our imperialistic whites. Like I said, it all ties the fuck in, Anyway. We supposed to be a funny podcast.
Fuck no, that was
Live from the studio.
yeah, dude.
Right.
Whatever we want it to be.
Wow.
This is Dark Mark, by the way. I don't know if we ever did the intros or anything. Add Dark Mark rules on everything.
Yeah, on everything.
But let's keep it going. I just forgot we didn't intro at all.
Right. I was just laying on my side.
No headphones gives it a whole different fucking vibe.
Yeah, the
dude.
no headphones is a new vibe.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
It's cool though. I dig it.
Yeah, I actually do. It's nice. And it's cool. I've noticed and everybody's kind of like doing a good job with the microphone. I can just like tell where your faces
because
are.
you know what you're supposed
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do.
And
You
I
couldn't
think you're
do this
like,
with somebody who like
you're
doesn't
more
do stand
aware
up
of
or
it.
understand it. No,
Yeah.
no.
I feel like I'm more aware of it because I don't have the headphone on.
Actually, yeah.
So,
I feel like I probably
I'm
do worse
I
without
need to be like closer.
Something about it
'cause,
fucking
like,
my peripheral. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it feels weird because I'm like, why am I talking this fucking
Yeah,
thing? I
yeah,
can't even hear myself.
But no, like this way, I almost feel like I'm doing stand up. And you know what it is? When I always like when I'm doing stand up, I can feel there's like a bubble around it that'll catch your voice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly how that's like if you look at the diagram of how a microphone.
I
that's
can feel
exactly-
it. I can feel
It's
it.
an
You
electromagnetic
get
thing, I
used to
think.
feeling like right around. I'm right in the middle. Just because I'm over the mic, and you can feel where it's coming from. So you want to
Yeah.
be right around.
It is
there.
where you can.
Yeah, you kind of know. I don't know if it's giving off fucking vibrations.
I don't know if it's an
I'm trying to
electrical
get into what this fucking body can do, yo. You can do all kinds of shit.
I'm on the same page as you with that.
telling
I just
you, man.
haven't
Yeah,
considered
for
it.
sure.
Like
Once I get them cigarettes out of here, yo, that's it. I need a good vape, like a good smoke. What's the name of a good smoky vape? Like I need to burn a little
views.
bit.
I don't know.
Do you
You talking about one of
are
those
you
bigger
getting like
ones?
like an electronic
cigarettes
cigarette?
for cigarettes.
Oh, I don't
And I
know,
need
man.
one of those square ones because every time I get one, I like sit on it. The ones that look like a pen, and I fucking
Yeah.
break it. And I'm like, fuck.
Oh yeah, and they don't give you. You said
Yeah, I need
like, you
something
want
sturdy.
big time, like
Yeah, I don't know.
smoky.
Yeah.
can't really
Because
get
I see
that
some
shit out
people
of a-
do it, and then it's like, I need some shit like
Yeah.
that.
Are there any you might want to talk to Mike Stork. I feel like he vapes. He is a vaporizer.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'll just
Yeah.
go to a vape store. It's just every time I get ready to do it, somebody calls my phone and I gotta run around and do something stupid.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
brother,
dude.
my
Yeah,
brother.
That's gonna be
vapes,
funny,
dude.
dude. That's gonna be funny when I see you walking around vaping.
Vaping,
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
saying all kind of gay shit.
Dude, all these bees, dude. You're about to get a fucking vagina, boy.
Fucking bitch head.
Damn, dude, I don't know. That'd be
Nah.
sick though.
I mean,
But
I want to
that's-
improve me.
The vegan shit like makes a lot of sense.
It really does.
What
It
the
honestly
hell?
makes
Watch
me,
it, yo!
like-
It changed. So many people I know. It's almost like it's going viral in real life, and I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah.
You know when people talk about stuff. You remember
You
that?
saying veganism's going viral?
Yeah, but like
Ooh.
no, the documentary.
Oh, okay.
Like you guys are young, but back in the days, you used to talk about stuff.
I remember.
like a
Yeah.
mixtape on somebody's new album. You have to hear about it from your friends, not
Yeah,
online and shit. You just talk about it, and that's the way I've heard about What the Health through just people to people. A lot of people I've heard talk about it. It's just I know a few people have turned vegan from that particular documentary. I don't know if it's something subliminal in it. If it is, then I'm cool with that too because I just feel great. Really. It was just too many things to ignore all at once.
I've actually the closest I've ever been to like just trying out, even for like a month, just to see what happens.
Just
you
watch
know?
the
Yeah,
documentary and it'll help you. And you'll be
What
hungry the
the
first
hell?
couple of days, and you just think, okay, there are things you can eat. Just you can have peanut butter and jelly. Hey, that's peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
You
peanut
know,
butter and
you
jelly
just-
is good. Yeah.
Psych yourself
just
up.
start there.
Shit
It's
is
just like,
good.
okay, that's a good start. What else? Grapes are good. And just it takes a minute, and then you start cooking, and it's fucking dope. Which we're gonna
Now you're not gluten free, are you?
Eventually, I'd like to get to completely whole foods.
Is gluten not whole?
So just going to Whole Foods all
So-
the time.
Do they sell gluten to Whole
I don't
Foods?
I mean foods in their rawest form, man. Like just
Okay.
it is
Isn't
what it
gluten
is.
in a wheat?
Yeah,
That's wheat.
so if it's in there, then
So you're
hey,
just trying
it
to
is what it
eat
is.
like
It's whole
hay.
wheat.
Trying to eat a
Yeah, so
stalk
I
of
don't.
hay.
I mean, what's gluten supposed to make you feel like? Itchy or something like that? I don't feel that.
I don't know.
dude. I don't fucking. I heard like it's like a
I'll look
digestive
into it.
thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the celiac.
I'll look at it.
Celiac
If I
is
see
super
myself
rare.
having those symptoms and I pull it out and I feel it, then maybe I will. I want to work. I want to work on my body like you work on a car.
Dude, I
wouldn't
wish
say
I
that
knew how
'cause
to
I
work on
can't
a car.
Don't me too, man. I don't know how to do this shit.
Exactly. I was like, dude, please don't tell me you're working
Why
on
you
your body.
trying to
like I'm
work on
working
your
a car,
body,
'cause
dude?
You're fucked, dude.
No, but I want to do
done.
little tweaks and stuff. I want to say, okay, well, I removed gluten for a week and I felt, this.
My knees are going bad, so what I decided to do is put on a 50-pound backpack every day and walk on it to, work it out and working on my body.
Is that how you work on cars?
Cigarettes, it's good because cigarettes, I can actually feel it. And I got a pack of cigarettes next to me. I don't consider myself a smoker, but I smoke, and I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Like once every 3 days, I'll have a cigarette or something like that. But you
Cool
can
for that. I
actually
can't do
feel
that
it.
shit.
You can actually feel it.
Tearing you up.
Exactly. You fucking breathe it in, and you're like, there is no way this is good for me.
It
Like,
feels
when you-
almost too good. In a burning bad way. Like,
well, just the concept of you're literally taking this fucking dirty ass smoke and just fucking just.
the shit that people get out of when the fire, the shit that kills people in the fire. The main thing,
no
more than
fucking
fire,
way.
people don't burn
Yeah.
to death. They fucking choke.
I'm surprised
Yeah, they get to
anybody.
the floor, they get away from
God,
the
it makes
smoke.
the crazy shit talking about quitting makes me want to smoke. The idea of it, man. I'm such a cigarette addict, nigga. Sometimes I want a cigarette while I'm smoking a goddamn cigarette. I'm like, man. I need an extra thick one. What do you call it? A cigar?
How many packs are you doing a day?
Well, I'll pack, and then I give some away and all that. But I don't. I party with them. You know what I'm saying? I smoke
Yeah.
some. I'm loose with them. I waste money with them.
Yeah, that's
flick
that's
'em hard.
exactly the same way I am.
I-
Exactly the same.
No, I'm smoking them too, but I need to be doing something. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And hopefully, some people told me maybe it's just your breathing. Like maybe if I just stop and do a set of push-ups and breathe, that's something positive and shit. I'm like, I'm looking fucking crazy, man. Fucking.
You
Look like you need a cigarette, dude.
Hey, dude, calm down. Hey, man, you okay?
All right. But you can't do that shit driving, and
Yeah, you can't. You cannot do push-ups in traffic, dude. No shot.
But I think I'm gonna get the vape for the car and try to push up breathing thing. But I'm just, fine.
There's got to be a
I'm just
better
starting to make
alternative
some
than
moves
push-up
in
breathing,
comedy a little
dude.
bit, man. I'm fucking old, man. I'm dying age for black people, nigga. I want everybody to be like, "Hey, Mark was so funny. Remember him?" You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Like,
No,
what the
I feel
fuck?
it.
It was
I
crazy.
wanna- 'cause
He was just going
it's like he just did
vegan.
it. It's right there. Dead.
He just quit smoking cigarettes. He was going vegan.
But no, I just want to ride this shit out, man. I wanna have a career. I wanna fucking, I wanna do what I love,
Dude, that's the way to do it.
And it's not that I feel like I'm about to die necessarily. I just want my quality of life to be good. I don't
Yeah.
want to be.
Well, it sounds
I
like
want
it's
to be
already
like, damn,
getting
you're
better.
how old? I want to
Yeah.
be. Yeah, I'm doing stuff, and playing and running and shit. You know what I mean? And it's possible. It's so possible.
Yeah. Well, if you're already getting peppy after just like 2 weeks, and
Right.
not
I'm
eating
excited to see what else happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a progression, dude.
I'd
definitely
be
think-
interested to see how like your
A
memory
year.
returns or like
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then what about weed? I mean, I've been eating it
Okay.
recently. That's
How-
been my new
yeah.
thing.
Is that any different than
Coconut oil I've been using as opposed to butter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's got to be better with less smoking. Smoking, I
true.
think, in any form is bad.
Yeah,
you know?
I would say.
yeah.
It's probably not as bad as smoking a cigarette, but it's still.
Yeah.
smoking. You know,
That's
shit.
true.
I mean, but weed is a vegetable.
It's a veggie, dude.
This
I guess it is. Yeah, it
It's
is.
plant based like a
broccoli.
motherfucker. Nothing's more plant based than weed, nigga.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if weed is
And
like
smoking is like eating for your lungs. So it's a plant.
That's not.
You know.
I don't feel like
I did a joke something like that tonight, but that's a great tag. Can I use that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I did a joke about because that's what's on my mind right now. So that's what I'm working out some new stuff. I just did a joke at DC, something similar to that, about how I'm a vegan, but I do vegan, and I'm walking around and eating good, and saying all kind of dumb shit. Vegan shit.
I feel like weed might not be that physically unhealthy if you were eating it.
I don't think so. I
No,
feel great
for
when I
sure.
eat it, and I eat it in the morning, a
Can you
large
eat-
dose,
can-
like a brownie,
Can you eat
and
tobacco
I
the
work
same
out
way?
afterwards.
Oof,
Why would you
I don't
want
know why
to?
you'd want to. Yeah.
Like Nicorette?
Because the effects of nicotine are so mild to me.
Yeah,
like
they
to me,
are.
cigarettes is more about the whole thing.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
blowing smoke and holding something and flicking.
That's true.
Having
Watching
something
you
to do.
smoke makes me want to fucking do that.
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You're rolling in my fingers and pointing. Cigarettes
Ashing
really
that
is.
shit.
Yeah. Ashing, flicking. It's all that stuff. But the effects of I probably don't like the effect of nicotine. It makes me a little dizzy. I feel slightly sick. It's
It does
nasty.
make you dizzy, dude. I was just thinking
Yeah,
that.
it's the other stuff
you
and whatever
dizzy
the
and
addictive
fucking-
component to that is
Yeah.
that's in my fucking mind. But
It's like a brief surge of like, I don't know. It's like a really quick caffeine almost.
it's almost like a freak for pain thing, honestly, to me. It's almost like hurting and it feels good when you stop. For real. It's like hurting yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
What about drinking? Did you quit drinking?
Very basic, man. Just be.
Okay.
Just-
I'm just saying down the long road. Is that something you'd ever consider?
Well, I don't drink a lot.
You don't?
Oh, I'm not a big drinker. I mean, sidebar.
Yeah, when it's
I'll get
free.
smashed. Yeah, when it's free, nigga.
You haven't had
But I'm not
a
a yeah. I don't
Yeah.
really like.
And it's
I'm
free.
not like people. Like I had a couple of people pull me to the side, like Mark, you've been getting really fucked up at sidebar. But I'm like, yo, I'm at home.
Yeah.
It's sidebar. I don't do that.
exactly.
Most shows, I don't drink at all. I might smoke a blunt, but I just
And also, it's like fucking sidebar.
Yeah, I'm fucking. That's my
That's
spot.
like-
That's where the
Exactly.
people's at. It's less. I don't even do jokes there. I don't even, unless it's brand spanking new. I don't do a fucking joke. Well, if the people are brand new, I might have give them a little shot. But for
Well,
the most
also,
part,
like you go up in like the second half, so like everyone's drunk at that point
right, at
anyway.
that point. Yeah. Plus,
So like
I
you're just
mean,
trying to relate to everyone.
Exactly. I'm trying to be on the same page, guys.
Listen, it's free. That's the main reason. It's free. And then, I don't need it. That's not a really, I don't think I drink enough for it to be a concern of mine.
Did Sidebar do a show over the weekend? Like for the
punk
festival?
show?
On Monday.
Oh, for the festival Monday. We had a
Yeah.
regular Monday, but it was fucking
It was
crazy.
like the closeout show.
It was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
That's sick.
it was really great.
Did you run it
House.
open mic style or was it like a?
We had festival goers for the first half and then open mic on the second.
Yeah,
That was a good move. You hosted it?
I was the first half, Mike Westford did the second. The shit ended. The first half ended with Larry Ladcast's murder.
Sick.
Yeah, I heard about
But the
that
crazy
shit.
shit, he ended with a bunch of gay jokes that were funny but a little mean.
Ah,
They were funny but mean, and
Yeah.
Michael Fur came up and cleaned up real good.
hey, there you go.
It was almost like an alley.
That's perfect.
Right,
Yeah,
sick, actually.
Right.
that's fucking perfect. Oh, I think Mark has it.
Yeah, he still made it funny. He still held his own.
Yeah.
He was on the side. I'm like, I pat him on his back. I'm like, you next. I mean, he was getting at gay people. Like, not in a real, not too
Nah,
mean. He was
but
talking about,
it's-
like, he was doing one of those, remember when you used to say faggot, like, but not like calling somebody a faggot, but just like, you'd be like, who, Mark? You'd be like, which Mark? Faggy Mark. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He was doing
Was he
those
saying
jokes.
that on stage?
Yeah. He was getting him that on stage, and it was getting big laughs. But he had a bunch of jokes, but that was his ending bits were about
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And then Michael Fur happened to be next, and
Oh,
he came
shit.
up. I forgot what he said, but it was something to the effect of, "Yeah, don't you remember?" He's like, "Yeah, you used to could rape a young boy back in the days." But as long as nobody got, I forgot what he said, but it was really sharp. And he did well. He did well. He bounced right back. And
Nice.
he's a fucking pro, yo. He's one of my faves around town.
Michael?
Both
Yeah.
actually, but Mike, yeah.
Larry's a cool dude.
Larry's
I like
fucking
him a lot.
amazing. Amazing. He fucking murdered that shit. He gave a clinic for us. Yeah, he really did. He ended the whole festival.
What was the one that was the one with Tony Woods? Was that Mike Quillen's room?
that was Autobar. That was
yeah.
packed too. I did that one too.
That was
That
Saturday,
sick.
right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah, it
fun
was
as
excellent.
fuck.
Dude, Ivan called me that night. I don't know about what, but I thought I was playing 5 to 8, but I was playing 8 to 11, so I couldn't make it out. I was like, damn, because I was really trying to go to that one.
Yeah, that was fun, dude. That was fucking lit. That was his birthday too.
Yeah.
That was like a birthday.
Tony
show for
Woods's
him.
or Mike's?
It was
Tony
Tony
Woods.
Woods. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a DC guy, right?
yeah. But he's a world guy. He's a
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like he's.
He's like, yeah.
He gets
Big
around.
time.
We're trying to. Yeah, I ain't gonna say big time, but definitely we're trying to be what he is.
Was it a?
Put it like this: he's just his peers. They all respect him, whether he's super famous or not. I've heard on podcasts and stuff. I've heard all kinds of comedians.
That's dope.
Well, he's super famous outside of the U.S. just
Yes,
not
I do
here.
know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he goes to Australia and England a lot.
What was I gonna say? Oh, was the thing
I'm supposed to be
ticketed?
going to Europe soon. I don't want to speak too tough on it, but yeah.
There you go.
Was the Autobar thing a ticket show? Like
Yeah.
a
Yeah, yeah,
ticketed
yeah.
show?
Yep.
That's smart.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
was good
guess
times.
does
And
Autobar
I'm sure
do
they
any
made money.
open mic
It
type
was
stuff?
nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure they made money.
What's up?
Does Autobar do any like free shows?
Upstairs, his
Yeah,
show is
that's
free.
true.
But it was downstairs. It was fucking packed. All
Oh,
the
it
way
was on
back
the
to
stage and shit?
bathrooms. Yeah.
Dude, that is sick.
It was lit.
Was everybody just standing? Or was it like chairs
they had
down the
some-
audience?
Autobar is out of
They had
this
some
fucking
tables and
world
stuff.
to perform at. I just want to first say that I've performed there 3 times. I'm talking about downstairs. I've performed upstairs a bunch of times, but downstairs 3 times. It's
Yeah.
when that shit is packed. I did Wise Act down there. I did Hemp down there. Who else did I do? Come on, no, I did somebody else. But every time it's just the balconies. You got a fucking balcony, people
Yeah,
looking at
dude.
you, but a balcony where you can touch them. Like they're not far. They're fucking right there. That shit is crazy. I love it. It's one of my favorite places, right up there with Sidebar, and you know,
Sidebar is dope.
yeah, Sidebar is dope, but Autobar is like our big brother, yo.
For sure. Dude, they got the fucking like white and black logo too.
Yeah,
They
it's
got,
like related.
Same kind of
And
fucking.
the bartenders work at both bars,
Yeah,
and the bar owners.
Oh,
all know
Sidebar
each
and
other.
Autobar are related in that way?
Kinda. They don't have the same owners, but the punk community in Baltimore is very small and tight.
yeah.
Okay.
There are a few other bars around town that fit right in with us too. You know what I mean? Shit, most of the places we perform fit in.
Yeah.
Dude, Sidebar
The
is a
fucking
fucking
Crown
exactly.
and Wind Up Space to some degree. Russ is kind of down with them, but not really. But he knows a lot of them. You know what I mean? And they just a little community. They look the same. Their bathrooms look all shitty. And, yeah.
Ton of stickers.
It's a
Sidebar.
certain vibe. It's a Baltimore punk vibe.
Yeah.
It is the coolest vibe. I mean, as far as like I like it more than Soundstage, but Soundstage is more of like a professional. You know what I'm talking about?
Soundstage.
It's right by Power Plant.
Oh yeah,
But
I
that's
did.
more
I
of
worked
like
with them in Annapolis. I did their room in Annapolis. It's very nice. It's
But
very
that's like a
I've
bigger
never done the
thing.
one
It's
there.
more like
yeah. It was a big
professional.
deal when I did that one. I didn't know when I went there. I never know until I get there. And I'm like, oh shit.
But the Autobar definitely has that like more homey feel. It's got that kind of thing to it. I like it.
It's Baltimore punk. I love those. I love our Baltimore little art galleries and tattoo shops and stuff like
Clothing
Reverb
stores
and like
and shit.
Beatnik and how it used to
Yeah.
be and I love what I seen. You know, it's dope, man. We'll do this shit any fucking where. Right, clothing store. Well, I haven't got to get that shit popping again. But the lady
was
store,
fun.
yo, it was some hoes in there.
Yeah.
The late. What are you talking about?
It was like a little ladies boutique. It was in the hood, deep in the hood. I don't know why they put that store there.
Yeah.
But,
It was like a super nice store too.
yeah, but it was just
It's like all
deep.
Were you
cleaned up
working it
and-
or?
Yeah, I did comedy,
Yeah, we did
not
a
working
comedy
there.
show.
Oh, well, okay. I was about to say. Like, damn.
Yeah.
They did a show there one evening. It was nice. It was packed.
Yeah, it was good times. Yeah, I think I heard Unique say they got a show maybe coming up soon, like another like art show, but maybe of comedy. That'd be dope. That'd be dope. Oh, Jimmy, you got it,
I can't even fucking save it right now. Sometimes you just gotta let it.
dude. I got to pee so bad. I've been holding him for a second.
I mean,
I'll
I
be
gotta
back.
shut it down. I can't stay for too
Oh,
long.
okay,
anyway.
shit. Well, I don't know.
Well, how
You
much? I
wanna-
mean, how much we got?
We got a solid amount. I mean, we could totally wrap it up right now.
Yeah, let's
All right, yeah.
let's wrap. I wanted to come through, but I'm fucking exhausted. Dude.
Oh,
I'm
you're
running
good,
forever, and
dude.
I gotta get up early tomorrow.
Yeah, dude, you gotta go forage for your food tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got a lot of foraging. You got a lot of hunter gathering to
Yeah.
do tomorrow, dude.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm bringing stuff.
Hell yeah.
And it's people give you vegetables.
Yeah, man. That's
People,
it's the summer, so there's all those like trucks on the side of the road and shit.
Shut the fuck up. I'll be
You
on
don't have to
little,
go far.
I'll be on medium strips and off the side of
there's that
highway
dude
woods.
that, like,
Those
walks
woods don't
around-
count. Those highway woods, is that real woods? Any animals in those woods?
I don't know.
Any
There's deer.
I think so. Yeah.
any fruits? Any vegetables in those
Foxes, they got foxes
Yeah,
in there.
dingleberries.
I just can't. Yeah, dude. I feel like all the
Trash and
plants,
Pampers.
all
Those
the
are
plants
dirtiest
that
woods.
naturally grow in Maryland are kind of ass, dude.
Yeah. Like if I had to go out and
Find
really
like
do
crab
that, I'd fucking.
apples.
I'd
Are crab
die.
apples
Yeah,
edible?
you
I
get
don't even
acorns.
know.
I have acorns and maybe corn. I can maybe grow.
You can't eat acorns, dude.
The Indians did they?
Did they? I don't think Indians ate acorns.
For sure.
They did?
I don't
For sure.
know, dude.
For sure.
I guess they must have.
For sure. Absolutely. That's a thing. I haven't eaten it.
Is that a nut? Is an acorn a nut?
I'm sure. A legume, at least.
At the very least, it's a legume.
Oh, shit.
All right, dude.
You got anything coming up? This is gonna come out like Monday, Tuesday.
Come to Sidebar, baby. Always 218 East Lexington Street. Every motherfucking Monday night. Sidebar Tavern. Google that shit. Fucking Google it and then Google it again. It'll still be the same. And my dumb face is on the website, I think, or my
damn
name.
Monday.
Every damn Monday. Oh, yeah, and follow me on everything at Dark Mark Rules. And I'll be back.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Fuck plugs. We'll do it in post. See you next week.
In a picture, I'm pulled up at my voice, but still sure